traders. Well, we had a bit of a surprise yesterday. I thought it was going to head down and continue to head down, but it didn't get even down to this green price line that I had drawn, as I thought it was pretty good support level there. It got down a little ways past this support or this supply and demand area, and then it shot up and it went higher than it had previously the night before. So we have to kind of rethink through what is going on in the market right now. We are sitting at a resistance level right through here, this dotted line, which is the peak that it hit. That's where we set our top Fibonacci line the other day. That was the peak there. So it hit that, went above it just a little bit, but it's kind of like it's holding, I would say, at that point. I zoomed in a little bit. So we have to be really, really careful about what our next move is going to be. And this is exactly why I like to trade. I like to look at the information that I have long term, try to make these predictions, but then trade on the short term, because I feel like the short term is a lot more sure about, I can make better predictions about what's going to happen. But if I'm not watching it all the time and, who knows what's going to happen the rest of the day, I don't really want to be sitting in the market and put my money at risk there. So that's why I think trading is a safer way to go. All right, so the other thing to look at here is I've got the 30-minute chart here, and you can see the MACD. It looks like it's kind of swooping up, or it's trying to, versus the 4-hour chart is at a peak here and is starting to turn over and go down. So they actually conflict in their information here. And I don't really care yet what's going on the short-term chart. It's looking like it's going to go up, but I want to see the longer-term patterns, what's going to be affecting this, because we can definitely see it's trying to change trend right now. So I brought it over to the 1-hour chart just to see if we could back out a little bit further and get some more solid information. And this is actually looking very similar to what I see on the 4-hour chart now. So it's looking like it actually crossed over and is ready to drop, which is kind of what I would expect because we are at that resistance level. Now, how far down it goes, I don't know. But at least I think there's a longer term downward push, probably, is kind of what I'm thinking with that. So the last few minutes, as we've been kind of watching and figuring things out, it has been dropping kind of steadily. So I decided this looked like a pretty decent place to get into a short. So I'm in a short right here, and I put in my exit order kind of at the bottom of these, the higher point of the bottom of these previous lows here, which is a good trade. That's a really good trade. And it dropped down to that point eventually, and I got out 450 on the first trade, so that was good. It looks like it's possible that it could go up now. And this is one of those times where, since we do have conflicting information and it's probably going to go flat for a little while until it figures out what it's doing, I think trading longs and shorts both is not a bad idea. So I put in a long order here, and we'll see what happens. My exit order is just below that blue SMA, and that's a huge order right there. And my Wi-Fi went out, so I'm still struggling with that. When I brought it back up, I noticed that it had dropped down, which was unfortunate, but it tells me that perhaps there's a little bit more bearish momentum than bullish, because you can see this low is a little bit lower than this low here, and our blue trend line is starting to tip over and point down. So I'm a little bit nervous being in a long at this point. So I lowered my exit order, not nervous enough to get out, I should say, but nervous enough to, I think I might want to lower my exit order just a little bit. I don't think it may not get all the way up to that point. I don't know. And we can also see this is just becoming a death cross right here. So and it came back up to where I had gotten in, so that was awesome. Just kind of watching it, and it came up a little bit beyond that, and I put in a stop order just to be safe, and that got filled, so I made like 150 or something on that second trade, which wasn't bad, and I'm about ready to cancel this one, so I didn't get that one filled. All right, so the second trade, I didn't make as much because I was trying to be cautious, but I did make a positive trade, so that was encouraging. And look at that, it did go all the way up to that line. And so I'm not sure at this point exactly what it's going to do. I took a little break and kind of drew in another channel over here. It's like, okay, well, if this is going to maintain this bullish recovery here, we can kind of see this is the channel that it's kind of formed, and it has broken through it a little bit, but that's not terribly unexpected either, as there's a lot of uncertainty in a trend change situation. So it's possible that it could continue that trend upward, and one of the major resistance levels that it's going to run into is at this blue SMA right here. But, again, these are very long-term charts that are kind of out there, but we're trading the short term where it's very much more uncertain. And so I'm looking at this, looking at the MACD, and thinking this is probably not a bad time to get into another short. So I did. Got into a short right there, and it almost immediately started to drop, which was great. It didn't continue to go up any further, so very happy about that. Putting my exit order kind of at the body of these candles here, and it also coincides with all of these orders that I see on my AT ladder. It's near the bottom of all those right there. So I thought, well, that's a pretty good spot. I think it'll probably going in, in this space right here for a while until it decides to break through one way or the other. All right. So it's continuing to drop here, and I'm at $950. I decided, you know what, I think I just don't want to wait till it gets down to that point. That's a little bit more risk than I want on the table, even though I do think it may drop. I put in a stop order just in case it decided to go up. I didn't want to miss out on that opportunity, and I got stopped out. So I'm about ready to cancel this order here. So I am done with 3 trades. I've made $950 minus my commissions, and still think that it may continue to go up, but I'm really, really not certain what it's doing this morning. It is very uncertain. So here's my trades. You can see right there, 3 of them, and that's it for today.